Well, hello again. So, this is one of them days where you find yourself realizing just how fragile life really is. I'm currently at the hospital downstairs. I needed to find a quiet place to kind of just breathe for a minute. A couple weeks ago, I lost a very dear friend, and today my grandfather is upstairs and he's not doing so great. I just find it amazing that, the way that life comes and life goes. My daughter is about to have a baby literally at any minute, and I'm hoping that Grandpa is well enough and gets to meet his first great grandchild. And it's all such a reminder of how fragile things really are, how fragile life really is. And as you guys know, I a couple months ago started a job I absolutely love, and I've had to leave twice. And I find myself where I'd rather be at work than deal with things like this. And the irony is I'm a counselor, so you would think that I would have control and regulation over my own emotions. And I realized I do, except for when it comes to my own family. And I tend to get very emotional about them. But this last couple of days has been a stark reality of just how fragile life is. I work with a population of people who literally sometimes have to just live from one day to the next because they're fighting what they're fighting, and they have their own version of illness. And it's just powerful watching them be resilient and learn and to build and to learn how to build their lives going forwards. And then leaving work after a really good day today to get a phone call that says you need to go to the hospital, and because Grandpa's taken a bit of a turn. And so just be praying for him, and be praying for my daughter. She might be facing a difficult delivery, and they're going to try to make it as easy as possible and do all the things the right way. But you are only promised life until your next heartbeat, your next breath. And just because a new baby is on the way, or Grandpa being elderly, logic would say, okay, baby's going to live for a good long time, but our elderly may not. And that's not true. Age is kind of irrelevant. You could walk out the door and that could be your last. And so it just really makes you think of what is important in the here and now. And do you really think about what's important in the here and now? What are your values? What are your character traits? What are things that you find important? So I called my boss, and I told him that I may not be able to be in. I just got done training a new lady, and she's amazing. She is so awesome. I really love working with her. She's so smart. Um, but I told him, and he just told me on the phone. He knows that Grandpa's been in the hospital for a long time, had emergency surgery and all that about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And he just says, you have to tend to your spiritual being first. Take care of you, then take care of your family, and your job will always be here. He said, work will always be here. And I said, I know, but I really love work. And I said, in the 10 weeks I've been here, I've had 2 major catastrophes that have called me from work, and I've had to be out of work. And how my job works is I'm on a 6-month probation, which is, normal. It's a perfectly normal thing to do. But every day you miss gets tacked on to the end of it. And so I don't want to miss anything, because the work I do is a day-to-day thing. It's a day-to-day growth for the people that I'm working with. It's a day-to-day learning process. And I know that my coworker and my boss can handle it. They're going to be there tomorrow, but I wish that I could be there too. But so I'm always telling them, don't use avoidant behaviors, and here, look at me. I would rather be at work than deal with what I'm dealing with. And it doesn't mean that I love my family any less. It just means that at some point you hit a point of overwhelm, and you have to really decide what's more important. And my family's important, and no matter what I'm going to face in the next however many hours or days, that's just the way it's going to be. And God's going to help me through it. So whatever you're going through, just stick with that. Just pray through it. Have strength. What's the word I gave them the other day? Diligence. That was the word I taught them. Diligence. That stick-to-itiveness, to stick through no matter what. And sometimes life is good, and it's easy to have diligence, and it's easy to depend on God. But when things get a little rough, that diligence gets a little rougher, and you have to depend on God and sometimes the people around you. And right now my family is depending on each other to get through all the things we're going through. And so we're going to be okay, but we love our grandpa very much, and we're just praying he pulls through this. So he had an emergency surgery that just went sideways about a month ago, and then he's just struggled trying to recover. And it happens. But life is short. Hug the ones you love, tell them you love them, hang on to them, let them know how valuable they are, and take care of yourself, because if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. But I better get back upstairs, and I'll see you on the next.